Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and Roa is also back. Finally, it works the way I want it to work. So, for those who don't know how this functions, when we spend 75 energy, we reduce the cooldowns of our ultimates by 5 seconds. And we use the base fall boots, so after we used an ultimate skill, our next core ability drains all of our energy. And luckily we have 170 energy, so this thing here procs twice and we reduce the cooldown by 10 seconds. So that's a lot of energy, right? And how do we get all of that back again? Well, we have this Aftermath passive here in the skill tree, and it says when we use an ultimate, we get 150 energy back. So that is enough to proc this twice again, and by doing this combo, we can constantly reset the cooldown of our Rain of Arrows ability here. So, how do we get 6 points into this? Well, we get it with the Ice and the Dark Pants. They also give us ultimate damage and a little bit of DR against trapped enemies, and we can trap them with caltrops. In the helmet, we run the Zan Yom rune combo, so if we use an ultimate 4 times, we proc the Druid's Petrify ability, which gives us more crit damage. And Shaco pretty much has everything we need: life, max resource, which makes the combo possible, armor fixing, and cooldown reduction, of course, as well. Also +4 to all skills, which reduces the cooldown of our Rain of Arrows. In Tyrael's Might, we use Yulgar, which gives us more crit chance when we use a cooldown ability, and we spam cooldown abilities all the time, so we can cap out our crit chance. And it also fixes resistances for us and gives us a nice chunk of damage reduction. In the gloves, we run additional crit chance and a lot of crit damage. And the elements aspect, since our Rain of Arrows will be imbued with all elements, this is a big chunk of extra damage. We use Beast Fall for the combo, also gives us movement speed and extra resource. In the bow, I currently use a double chance for Rain of Arrows because I don't have enough on the amulet, because this one is pretty bad. It's not ancestral, so I cannot upgrade it any further, and it doesn't have a greater affix. So we need a better one here normally. So back to the bow, we go for crit damage, and we go for the storms aspect, so we get more arrow storm damage, which also, thanks to Word of Hakan amulet, applies to our Rain of Arrows. Then on the ring we use additional crit and cold clip for more damage against frozen enemies. Here we have retribution for damage against stunned and knockdown, and we do that a lot. Also additional crit damage. And we have the conceited aspect on the weapon, because we always have a barrier active, and we also get additional crit damage here. And on this one we have another aspect for arrow storms to buff our Rain of Arrows damage. Of course we run preparation here, and in the skill tree we start up here. We waste 2 skill points so we can unlock the R against close, a little bit more extra crit chance here, the R against dots, and caltrops with the crit chance combo, the crit chance upgrade and the extra damage against enemies inside caltrops. Then we pick all 3 damage upgrades here. Here we have a few points in agile, so we gain more dodge when we use cooldown abilities and we spam them. I went with concealment so we can break crowd control every once in a while, and we apply vulnerable constantly. All points into Dark Shroud, of course, as always, and we go with a crit chance upgrade, and 3 points in exploit, malice and frigid finesse. Also 1 point into cold imbuement and the last upgrade for more damage against frozen. Same goes for shadow imbuement for the 12% extra non-physical damage. And down here, as mentioned before, 3 points into aftermath, 3 points into Onto Dawn for a massive chunk of ultimate damage. And we also use Second Wind because it gives us a nice chunk of barrier every time we spend 100 energy, and we do that with every use of our core ability. By the way, as a core ability I use Flurry. And of course we pick Rain of Arrows and pick the 2 upgrades, and we put all points that we have into Rain of Arrows to reduce its cooldown. And as our notable key passive, we use precision, so after 4 uses of Rain of Arrows, the 5th one gets a huge chunk of bonus damage. So let's have a real quick look at our Paragon boards. So in the first board we put in the combat glyph, because this is the board that gives us the most intelligence, and we get a huge chunk of crit damage, which we need for our notable passive in the skill tree. Next we picked No Witness, because we get a nice chunk of bonus damage when we use an ultimate, and as a glyph we use Versatility, because it gives us more damage for non-core and non-basic abilities, so that includes our ultimate, and it buffs magic nodes around this area, and these are ultimate damage nodes, so I get over 300 additive damage from this. Next is Cheap Shot for more damage against crowd controlled, and as a glyph I use Control here for more damage against crowd controlled enemies. And here we have Eldritch Bounty, so we get bonus damage with an imbued ability, and since we use all 3 imbuements, this is a huge chunk of extra damage that we get. And as a glyph here I use Kenny for more non-physical damage. And on the last board we have Tricks of Trade, so when we use a marksman skill, Cutthroat Stuff deals more damage and vice versa. And as a glyph I use Devious, it buffs our magic nodes here, which is a lot of extra damage, and we deal more damage when we crowd control enemies and bosses. So why Tricks of Trade? Because we use Flurry to basically do our combo, and that gives us extra damage. So, and this is basically how it works. You use the skill, then you do this, and then this, and you can basically just hold buttons and spam them. And I weave in Concealment and Dark Shrouds in between. Use Dash to move. Use a potion in between for extra damage. Yeah, and that's basically how you play it. And I'm so happy that we can finally put points into ultimate skills and therefore reduce the cooldown. Because like in my first build guide around this typical build here, I was able to get the cooldown down to 12.5 seconds, and that would always leave me with a 2.5 second downtime between Rain of Arrow casts. And now, thanks to the fact that we have less than 10 seconds cooldown, we can finally spam it, and that's the way I wanted to play the game. This build and the game basically, yeah. So yeah, I'm really happy that they made this nice little change here. It finally makes this build possible, and I can't wait for this to go live so I can play it when Season 6 drops and when Vessel of Hatred is out. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching, have a nice day, and bye bye!